Online courses. Some of us have been exposed to it, some of us haven't. Curious, are you guys for online classes or against online classes?
Absolutely.
For?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's better than paying thousands of dollars just to go to some boring lectures when you're going to do most of the work on your own anyway.
But how do you get tested on it online?
They have ways. There's new software like that will detect if you have multiple browsers open, and that like uses your camera. So they have ways to test you online now.
Okay, fair enough. What about the other very quiet individuals on this live stream?
Well, I didn't like I'm not having classes right now, so the only thing I know about it is feedback from other friends who have it, and it's always positive, you know. So I'm for it.
Online classes are shit. Ever since they started, you can say I couldn't give less craps, and as such, my grades were shit.
Do you mean like online lectures or like a full online course like Udemy classes?
Online finals, I barely studied half an hour before them. I can't take them seriously. I can't give a shit when things are.
I think we have to consider the format too, though, Yasha. Like the online classes I've taken were on Udemy, and they're very good. Like I found these really good math classes on Udemy, and it's like it's
the environment to be right. Otherwise, I'm not gonna.
the college experience.
No, here's the thing, right? And Yasha, can you move closer to your mic because you seem far away? Here's the thing, right? When it comes to online classes, and those do include
You're paying for structure. You're paying for structure to answer that question. You're paying for someone to provide you with structure and a schedule, so to speak.
No, here's the thing. Somebody like Yasha, and a lot of people are like him, they learn via context more than the information itself. So if you want to learn how to draw, there's a reason drawing seminars are preferred to online drawing courses. Not for most, or not for some, but for a lot of people, going to the seminar makes more sense because the presence and the atmosphere is part of the learning experience. The movement, as you said, the schedule, the structure, right? To others who just want to get the bloody information and would like it in any form or any shape they can, just consuming it at home, it's very different, right? But I think Yasha is a bit too hard on online courses, mainly because he experienced online courses in the middle of a semester. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, I've taken online courses before that I should do them. They were okay. The fact that I don't have grades and I don't have anything to worry about is just me learning things that I'm curious about. Sure, they are fine over there, but I don't want to put effort, so to speak. The second things became fun. It doesn't feel right. What am I gonna put effort in? My design class? I can't get to design things anymore. Can't get to work on projects anymore.
Yeah, actually, that is an interesting thing about an online course. How do you do the practical work?
The only thing I really care about in engineering school is all the practical, like doing the math things when it comes to exams. I'll do that. That's fine. Thermodynamics, I'll do math. That's fine. But all the labs and all the courses have labs. Missing out on those. What's the point?
What do you think, A-RAB, about this?
I agree. I think it's a balance of information and context, you know. If you don't have a preferable environment to be able to get the work done in, then it's going to affect your ability to concentrate and excel. And there's more than just...
Well, then, how about not college online courses, but online courses on sites like Udemy, to bring it to Gabandi Man's comment, which is that, according to him, just do not take online courses from like places like Udemy or stuff like that, because they give you a certificate, and you're paying for essentially a false sense of achievement that you are learning this course, even though you're not. What do you think about that? Like those types of formats.
I think they have value in the sense that it provides you with a pathway to follow that you don't have to, you know, because I think people don't understand just how much time it takes to learn things and do things completely on your own without any form of structure. You know, having to spend hours just digging for information to work with before you begin doing actual work once you have the information you need anyway.
Okay, here's the thing. Gabandi Man, you've made an interesting point here, which is that you want to see chemicals turn purple when you mix them in your life. Just look it up. Like, why do you need to look it up in real life? See, there's a problem here, because seeing it on YouTube is very different than having an instructor oversee the process of doing it. People can watch people speedrun video games all the time and understand the deep intricacies of every move that has been done during this entire speedrun, but they wouldn't be able to do it because they've never actually
no
tried.
muscle memory, no.
Exactly. Mixing chemicals isn't just about seeing what happens and adding this with that. It's also how to manage your bottles, how to manage your samples, how to count time, how to multitask, how to make sure things don't, things heat up and things don't, how to use the proper apparatus. Because if you're a chemist and you wanna work in a lab one day, you need to know how to operate the apparatus, and all of that cannot be learned through an online course. It must be done by hand. Like when I've taken chemistry, the chemistry lab 101, I still remember. I took an easy A, like a sleep, and everybody thought I was like an A student because of how good I managed the lab. When all I did was just follow instructions, right? I'm very good with practical, and a lot of people are very good with theoretical, and they know better. They know way better than me, but they cannot get to my capabilities in practical. And the reason they can't is because they focus too much on just looking at something as like blue plus green gives you this color instead of turquoise or whatever, instead of actually mixing the colors and learning the feel of it, right? And all of that happens from direct experience. Otherwise, there'd be no point. Yeah, you can learn something like history online. You can take an online history course. But if you want to know a delicate difference between the Kipchak Turks and the Seljuk Turks, and that's not part of the lecture, and you ask the instructor has the experience to give you the filter quickly, instead of you having to look up both Kipchak and Seljuk, or worse, thinking they're the same thing and therefore just passing on the information that way. Again, the point of the instructor is to save you that, as you said, A-RAB, hundreds of hours of research. Instead of it being 100, you can cut it down to 10 via the help of an instructor.
I can tell you from first-hand experience. It took me months, weeks and months, just to get a reasonable understanding of like personal finance and financial literacy. Just because there aren't really classes out there in public school or anything like that where you can learn it. So you just have to spend hours upon hours digging through different YouTube videos and articles and channels and taking notes and notes and notes and filtering what's bullshit from what's important before you actually come up with some form of structure. And that's not even like actually applying the work and researching it. That's just figuring out what you need to know before you can even do work to begin with. So imagine imagine like there's classes in school. You're essentially creating the class before you even do the schoolwork for that subject in the first place, because you don't even know what the subject is. You have to figure out the concept on your own without having a teacher be able to explain it, because they already went out of the way to filter all the information for you and give it structure.